Very important to a lot of folks, and I know that. But my issue is, again, a lot of this money is gonna be to her expenses and things, and we didn't hire her. I mean, that's the way I see it.
Right, but we're not heading up the project either, and it takes a lot of effort. And individuals like that have the experience, that are in positions of employment to do this full-time, they have the knowledge and experience that's needed for this community in order to save a project like this. And so much of their time is voluntary, I know that. And so I don't think that $3,500 and an additional $2,800 would be an exorbitant amount. I think my earlier anticipations were up to probably $10,000 that we would look at investing in a project like this over a period of time in order to save the project. But we do need to determine what that amount is going to be and put a cap on it and leave it at that. And as she said, this would probably be the last time of approaching us for funding, and that could be the cap for us is, hey, this is it, you know. So
I almost got the impression that the last time we gave money,
That was it.
that was it. You know, maybe I misread it, but you know, I thought, okay, we're supporting, you know, and we put 3,500 in there, and I guess I thought that was our contribution, but you know, but I'll study on it.
you think about it. I just would like for this committee to be able to say that we did our part. If the bridge gets tore down, that's going to hurt a lot of feelings. That's going to hurt a lot of folks. And
I'm like, it's not our fault.
No.
You know, and we didn't hire. You know, we're supportive, and it shouldn't be our fault if it doesn't make it.
right.
You know, because of $2,800 or $3,000 or $10,000 or $100,000 or $1 million.
Right.
You know, it's got to be other folks being involved. So, you know, maybe
The factor is they were looking at having to come up with a large amount of money to even think about pursuing saving the project. And they came up with that as they were able to work a deal with the demolition monies. So
Is this 2,800, is it matching money too?
Yeah, I think so.
I think
I
they
think
stated
they
it
use
was.
it as matching monies in their efforts to try to coordinate. Now keep in mind, something that you guys need to take into consideration. When she says $1.4 million that they're able to spend on this project for maintenance and etc., that is money that is coming back into the county. Okay, if that was being used for demolition, that money would be going out of state more than likely. But that's $1.4 million that'll be, for the most part, a large percentage of that will be spent here in Jackson County, and we'll have a revolving door factor. So that's employment, like she said, that's jobs, that's revenue, and etc.
What is the long term, though, for them to?
At Jackson County ARC, is that correct? Is that what you guys are seeing? You guys on that page?
That's all, is that all part of the annual appropriation portion? Second page.
Second
Yeah,
page.
Art's already, we already did it. Art's already there.
Yeah, I believe that's going to get us to the second page. Part of the way down, we're past the annual appropriations, which.
Let me ask one question on this appropriations that's coming up out here with the towns and the depots and these that's listed here. Are they gonna take that 20% cut we just offered?
They're on the annual appropriation.
Yes. All right.
Senator, I think we have one more guest that would like to address the board, Ms. Washington.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Washington, you had some new business that you wanted to
I
discuss
do.
with the board?
As you know, February is considered Black History Month for the state, for the United States. And I always say it's not just Black History Month, it's American History Month. And we've been privileged to try to do this on our own, but the museum turned 4 years old February 1st, and we've been celebrating the birth of it since the opening. 10,000 people, 12 foreign countries. And right now, we have schools that come. We don't have material to give to children at the museum. And when I go out on my speaking engagements, I don't have anything to carry with me to pass out. Like, I had a coloring book with Martin Luther King, different leaders that would pass out. Skyline School is planning to come, and Stevenson Miller School. And I'm in Madison County doing Black History program at Riverton and Mount Carmel School this month. And also the state of Alabama Tourism Department is coming to place the historical marker in March where the Boys was exonerated. And we're going to have the hanging of the pardons during March. So Black History Month is going to run over into March to continue to celebrate the exonerations and the marker to be put on the grounds at the museum.
Okay. Well, I think we're all familiar also with the museum that Ms. Washington has worked so hard on. And we're all also aware that museums require money. If we want to preserve history, it's going to require money and efforts to do so. And we appreciate her efforts in this venue. And we have that as new business now that will be voted on upon our next meeting. Is that correct? Funding request for $1,500. Is that correct?
That's correct. I also like to say that
15.
since the exoneration, the state has appointed me to the archives of Montgomery. So I'm on the board of directors and to serve down there. And I think that's a great privilege to open doors to get financing for the museum. And I also got awarded a Civil Rights Activist of the Year award this just past January from Memphis, Tennessee. So the museum is changing its perspective of people coming, and it is, I say 10,000 people that's been through the museum since we opened. It has brought tourism into the city and the county, and I'm glad to be a part of Black History Month. Like I said, we've had more white students to come to the museum than we've had black students, and the Skyline and different places like that to come and show interest and want to know about Black history. And then we have jobs that bring their employees for race relations into the museum as part of the Black History ceremony.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I'd like to commend Ms. Washington. I've worked some with her, and I know the countless hours that she has put in. A lot of it was at her expense. I know she's traveled to Montgomery numerous times, and it's quite an honor to be placed on the board of directors of the Alabama Archives.
Thank you.
And that will help us here too with our projects that we have. And I'd just like to say thank you until we can maybe do better than say thank you at a later time.
Well, I thank you all for what you all have done. You showed support, John, and Senator McGill with passing that House bill for the pardons, and that was big on your behalf and Senator McGill. And I don't know if you're aware of House Bill 320 that's on the floor now, but that's asking for state funding for the museum, so I'm asking for your support with
It's
that.
in general fund.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we've worked with you on this project, Ms. Washington. I mean, a lot of people probably aren't aware of your accomplishments that you've had with this. I mean, we've got publicity from Scottsboro to New York City.
Around the world.
Around the world, absolutely. So,
The day it happened, Switzerland, New England, and people that pay attention to anything pertaining to the Scottsboro Boys case. And the day it happened in Montgomery, the phone just went off. And again, it was an honor to be there. And then for the governor to come here to sign that bill. And the Scottsboro Boys Act has set precedents for other states to follow. And that's big. And I'll be in Montgomery, Tuscaloosa this week, the 6th and 7th. At the University of Alabama with the Traveling Museum to be honored there along with Dan Carter and different ones. So I'll be speaking there on the 7th of this week.
well, you guys have put, in your efforts, you put Scottsboro on the map again, so to speak.
In a positive way, thank God.
In a positive way, absolutely. But thank you so much for your time and your efforts over there, and it's my desire that this committee continue to support your efforts there, and we'll take this up and vote on it upon meeting again 2 weeks from now.
Okay. All right.